My favorite thing about teaching is finding that student that doesn't think they can and showing them what they can do.
Hey guys, I'm Jesse. In honor of World Pride, Stonewall 50, and the release of my new song, Listen, I've decided to sit down and have a conversation with some of my friends to hear their stories and experiences. And today, I got to sit down with a very special individual, my boyfriend, Jelani Remy. So I hope you enjoy this conversation that we had.
My name is Jelani Remy. I am a performer here in New York City. I'm also a teacher. I love to teach musical theater. I grew up in New Jersey, so just outside Manhattan. And now I'm living my dreams. I get to, play roles on stage. If anything, the theater world saved me. It was more so my home life that I didn't know what to do or didn't know how to get my parents to understand me and to see me and not try and fix me. My parents are from the Caribbean, so everything was very straightforward. And once they realized I was special or different, it became a concept of what can we do to change this? I didn't know what I was going to do to survive. And I didn't know who I needed to pretend to be to just be left alone. Or I had to hide myself and suppress myself. And the only thing I found that made me happy was singing and dancing. And so I vowed to myself, if this is what I love to do, then I need to figure out how to get good at it. Because maybe if they see me successful in it, then they would know that I'll be okay. It took a while. I didn't come out to my parents until I got my first job professionally. And it was still a struggle because I think it always came back to, well, it doesn't have to be this way. And that's when I realized that my sexuality doesn't necessarily define me. It's a portion of me. And you should love me. I'm Jelani, first and foremost. And that's what the main thing I wanted to get my parents to understand. And I'm still their son. And I still like to sing and dance. And people aren't gonna see me the way that you think. And I think that that's what it was. I think it was their fear of the unfamiliar, or their fear of what they were told that they wanted to instill and sort of shake out of me. Now it's gotten better. I don't think it's great. It's never gonna be perfect, but I think there's an understanding and there's true love and less fear. But my family now sees me because I see myself, and I'm happy with who I am, and I've grown into who I am, and I no longer have to hide who I am. I get to celebrate who I am and celebrate the people that I love and celebrate, my milestones and my accomplishments and even my failures and my weaknesses. I get to celebrate them now knowing who Jelani is. Once that clicked, I think a lot of things settled into place. My favorite thing about teaching is finding that student that doesn't think they can and showing them what they can do and pushing them to a limit of just being proud of themselves and knowing that they're enough. And I think that's what I instill in all my students. I let them know that they're enough and there's never gonna be another one of them. And I find it so crazy to sometimes look at someone and say, that was me. Or even at the stage door now, I get to see kids and I'm like, yep, that was me. That was me. And I'm so happy now to be at a point where I could be a man of color and be a proper representation for someone who had a dream that maybe didn't think that they could. I'm living proof that you can. I had a teacher that took me under her wing because she saw potential in me. So I want to be that teacher for so many others because it was that investment that sort of saved me and that changed me and showed me a passion that led to a career. Like, that's crazy. That's such a blessing. And it was just because one person said, you can. The people that I think are most hurtful are the ones that are struggling the most. And that's how they sort of battle it, by doing the opposite or doing something radical to hurt someone because maybe they're struggling with their own feelings. I've seen people come around. Like I said, all it takes is one good influence amongst the sea of bad. If there's one good influence, that could change a life, that could change a perspective. I take it back to myself, years of someone telling me that homosexuality is wrong. You shouldn't be this way. You're gonna have a hard life. You know what I mean? And for me to feel welcome in one community, another community that's been so welcoming, it was that one person's perspective that crushed me till I heard something else and doors were opened. To the people that sort of bullied me or made my life a little more difficult, I think a lot of it was the ones closest to me. You know, it was my brother, it was my father. To my brother, he said that we talked about it, and he's actually now one of my best friends. And he said it was just because I was scared for you. He didn't know how to relate to me. He didn't know how to do it. So he thought that being mean to me was his option. And also, he was also angry inside. He was just angry as well for his own reasons. So he took it out on me, which is hard for kids to understand, that sometimes when people lash out, if you're different, it's not really about you. Your uniqueness could be scary to someone, but guess what? Your uniqueness is gonna make you so wonderful one day, someday, today, tomorrow, whenever. That's the crazy thing, is time. You have to wait for it, but it can change everything.